Hello everyone, Ron Johnson here from L.T.L Tutoring Central. And if you're looking for tips and strategies to help with your learning, you are in the right place. This is another collection of collocations, this time with the word get. If you remember, collocations are groups of words or phrases that are commonly used in the English language. This video is going to talk about or approach a few collocations with get, but there are many of them. So let's get started. Get a clue. This one is to get some knowledge or information. Let's look at a couple of examples. Begin by getting a clue and then follow up. So in this case, you're going to gather some information and then continue to work on the problem, whatever it is. And that's almost a more literal use of the word. Second example, he has no clue how the accident happened. So in this case, he has no knowledge or information about how the accident occurred. Sometimes people use this expression when someone is talking about something and you feel he or she doesn't really know what they're talking about. They're saying things without the knowledge, and you can say, get a clue or clue in. So sometimes it's used in that fashion as well. Get a joke. Get a joke means to understand the joke. Sometimes someone will tell a joke and it may be a language barrier, it may be a culture difference, and you don't really comprehend or understand the joke. So let's look at a couple of examples. I use that website to get a joke each day. Well, in this first example, it's actually more of a literal meaning of receiving a joke. It's not so much understanding it as just receiving one. So there are websites that you can get a joke every day. They'll send you one in your email. Second example, after a few moments of thought, Fiona got the joke. And that's more of what I was discussing at the beginning, in that Fiona understood the joke. It took her a few moments, but then the light bulb went on, or it clicked in her mind, and she understood the joke and began to laugh. Get dressed, get undressed. Well, this is more literal. It simply means putting your clothes on or taking your clothes off. So here's the first example. Tom wakes at 6 a.m. and gets dressed right away. So he puts his clothes on right away. Second example, you must get undressed for the doctor's examination. In other words, you need to remove your clothes or take your clothes off for the doctor's examination. Get permission. In this collocation, it means you need to ask to be allowed to do something. For example, the students got permission to leave class early. So either from their teacher or maybe the principal, they received or they got permission to leave class early. They were allowed to leave class early. Second example, you will need to get permission to use the car on the weekend. So you'll need to ask to be allowed to use the car on the weekend. You need to get permission. Get worried. That means you're starting to worry, or worry is beginning to come into your mind. For example, his parents got worried when Thomas was late. So sometimes when your child is late coming home, you might get worried, or in this case it's past tense, they got worried. Second example, Belle gets worried when the roads are busy. So this is something that happens all the time with her. It's not one incident. She gets worried or begins to worry when the roads are busy or when there's a lot of traffic. Get the message. Like with some of the other collocations with get we've talked about, there's a more almost literal meaning and then a slightly less literal meaning. So the first example is more literal. The boss got the message from his secretary. So she gave him the message or he gave him the message. But the point is that he received the message. The second example says, after all our examples, do you not get the message? Meaning, we've provided you with lots of information and examples. Why aren't you understanding it? Why aren't you comprehending it? So it's not so much literal receiving on a piece of paper or on a voice message. It's do you not understand the message? Do you not get the message? There we are, a few collocations with the word get. There are lots more. We'll probably do some more videos on collocations, maybe even another one on the word get, but there are so many to cover. Uh, Also, I should have mentioned on the last slide, sometimes we just say, don't you get it? In other words, don't you understand it? And that could be for anything, a message, a joke, a math problem, or whatever. Don't you get it? Just means don't you understand it? So play around with some of the collocations or expressions or idioms. We do videos on idioms, and there's some similarity and overlapping sometimes as well. If you have any questions or comments, put them below if you're watching on YouTube, or check out the links for my website. You can always send me an email message. I always love to hear from people. And let me know what you think. Tell me of some other collocations, or if you have any questions about anything really, I'll try to answer them as soon as I possibly can. It's Ron Johnson from L.T.L Tutoring Central. Keep learning and keep having fun. Until next time, bye-bye for now.